This episode of Bouts Talking Bouts is brought to you by Bare Knuckle Betting Shark. Winning parlays, if you're looking for them in BKFC, you got to be checking out BK Bet Shark. Here's the thing, $50 buys, you get a personalized bet slip. It's based on your own budget. You can be flexible. It is what works for you. And this guy's got the receipts. You can check out all the winning tickets. You can peep them, and you can do so at Bare Knuckle Betting Shark. Check him out on Instagram and get with it. Got them personalized betting slips going on, $50 buys. All right, on this episode of Bare Knuckle Radio, very excited to be talking to an individual who competes at BKFC 52, which goes down on October the 20th. And in the co-main event, we have Kevin Croom knuckling up and towing the line against Tony Soto. And good getting to have Tony back on the show. How's it going there, man? You having a solid day so far?
Oh, yeah, man. It's been great. I was running on a mountain today and then doing sprints. You know, feeling great, feeling good, and ready to go.
Well, it's awesome to hear, and it seems like things really worked out. Like, I saw a post a couple months ago talking about how you inked a multi-fight deal and wanted Kevin Croom next, so it seems like a couple things worked out for you there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a curveball in the beginning. I wanted Kevin, then they gave me a different name because apparently he didn't want to accept the fight, and then last second he accepted the fight, which kind of, made me feel really, really excited. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited for this fight, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure, and definitely have questions about this, and not to sidebar too much, but what was the, initial fight that was being discussed before this one came together?
Well, there was multiple opponents being thrown at me as far as names. I just wanted something that made sense. I'm not here to turn down fights or anything, but it's got to make sense at this point. I feel like I'm already in title contention. You got people 3-0, 2-0 getting title fights, and I'm over here 5-0, just, with my ball in my hand. So it is what it is, man. I'm just here to, have a good time and enjoy the ride while I can.
Yeah, and are you feeling that sentiment more now, just with you kind of having that official ranking spot now within BKFC, just having integrated into the, top lightweight hierarchy after that last win there?
Yeah, I do feel like the rankings are just, I don't know. I don't even really care, to be honest, about the ranking system. You got guys fighting for titles who haven't even been ranked, so it really doesn't mean anything. Maybe to some people it does. To me, it's another fight. It's another day. It's just another number on my record,
Yeah, for sure. It is arbitrary at the end of the day, I guess. I just didn't know if that was factoring into the mentality you were kind of outlining there, just in terms of the fights have to make sense. Maybe in that sense you're wanting to fight a fellow ranked opponent or something of that persuasion, I guess.
More in the lines of somebody like a name or a big money fighter or something that's gonna, push me to the next level. You know what I mean? Something, look at my last performance. I felt like a lot of people were leading it up to the point where this was gonna be Good John's huge return and yada yada yada, and I shut it down, and that really messed up a lot of people. I think it did, and I think people started to recognize what they really got here.
More fans that follow the sport, people that were kind of maybe slating you, or
company guys, everybody and their mother. After that fight, they seen what kind of dog, what kind of animal, what kind of force I am and what I bring to the table. I think that really changed a lot of people's minds on, some of the past opponents and some of the past people I fought to where I'm at now.
So you felt like that was a big win as far as articulating to these people where you're at? Because it seems like from what you're saying, you've always kind of known the level you're at, but that would seem to have been a caliber of name, former BKB champion and lightweight title contender. That would maybe validate to anyone that's a naysayer that hey, this guy's a contender and everything.
Yeah, just more the lines of I feel like it was a challenge for me. It was definitely a different kind of fight for me, but I think that actually was able to push me to that next level as well. And like I said, showing the world what I'm capable of and how durable I am as well. Not just being a good striker, I'm durable. I can go through the storm. I can overcome adversity and keep pushing.
There's probably something to be said for how active you've been as well, just with this being like the third fight of the calendar year. It must be cool to kind of to have that turnaround, rather, just even in the context too of facilitating getting that campaign going towards a title shot sooner than later.
Yeah, man, that'd be awesome. I've been active. I kept going. After that last fight, I kind of got fat. I wouldn't say eating like junk food because I don't, but I was just eating really big portions, having a good time, enjoying, and I hear opportunities at the door, and I got to open that door because who else is gonna do it but me? That's like you gotta if you're gonna have that drive, you gotta open the car door. The car door has to be open before you get in the car and drive. So I've been blessed with BKFC to be able to open that door for me to keep me driven. So.
And it seemed like an interesting, post-fight interaction with, Luis Palomino there and everything. I mean, that could be an interesting fight in the future. I'm kind of even curious to see what his next fight at lightweight will be, just with, this fight being made and everything between yourself and Croom and all.
Well, the way I envision it, I'm going to knock this guy out. I don't think it's going to have a third round. I'm going to piece this guy up. He's never fought anybody with my kind of bare knuckle striking. The last two guys he fought, he fought him in the clinch, and they didn't know what was going on, except Croom, not Croom, what's his name? Chevy Bridges. He got caught with a left hook, but, nothing against Chevy, but I don't think he can take a hard shot like I can, you know what I mean, and keep going. But, these guys really haven't shown him anything. Like, I throw a high volume of punches. I come with angles. I come with, I come with different things every fight. Every fight I come with something different. It's like you really can't train for the shit that I'm going to bring. And as far as Luis, I think he's going to do his best to dodge me. He's going to look for the big money fight, and he's going to eventually vacate the title before fighting. I feel like he's going to try to get another fight, big money fight, and then vacate, either undefeated or not, and then I have to fight somebody else within the rankings or something. I don't know, whatever they want, man. But I want to put hands on him, honestly.
Maybe like a Bobby Taylor or someone of that persuasion. I know that you've at least addressed maybe like a prior, call-out, quote-unquote. Like maybe not a call-out per se, but he seemed to indicate that he was up to the challenge of competing with you one day. So, maybe that could work out, just being that he's ranked number 2, I guess.
I just think that'd be a bad day for that guy. I know he's powerful, but I just don't think my speed. Look at my speed. Look at the fights. Look how fast I am. There's no way. I fought all young studs. All the guys I fought were all younger than me. Now you're going to give me a guy who's about twice my age to fight me? There's no way. There's just no way. I don't see it going in his favor. I don't have any worries about that, to be honest.
I guess it's kind of an interesting state in the division right now, because there are some more tenured, established kind of guys. I guess like Bryce Henry kind of coming in at number 4 is maybe an example of some newer, kind of blood potentially. But yeah, no, just, yeah.
Yeah, 2 fights in, they're really ranked number 4. I find that a little crazy, but, like I said, it is what it is. They do what they want, and I'm just here to fight and put on a show, man.
But yeah, I guess even kind of going back to that last fight briefly, because it seems like you were talking about how much you derived from that fight in like a, competitive kind of sense and just testing your mettle. But just how important is it to kind of have those different moments of like being in like a main event fight, and I guess some of the surrounding components that come with that, just in terms of like getting more accustomed to that leading into that goal of being in a title fight situation?
Just like every other fight, man, you got an objective, you got a job to do. I don't think it's any more pressure. I don't look at it like that. I stay with the mindset that, it's just another fight. You got to train. You can't be slacking during training, during camp. You really have to keep pushing yourself. You got to keep the mindset that, like, there's nobody that's going to outwork you. You got to keep working. And, once you stop working, then, you're not only losing to yourself, but you potentially could lose the fight. And that's what keeps me driven, man. I got to keep working. I got to keep pushing. I got to keep my mental at the highest, just highest caliber of thinking as far as, like, bettering myself. So, I feel like that main event stuff really doesn't feel like anything different than if I was on a prelim,
I get what you're saying, and a good attitude to have for sure, but in talking about some of the work, because I've known you to getting some good rounds at like Modern Warrior MMA, but also Bone Breaker Gym seems like a great spot. Are those the primary facilities you're working at here?
Well, I'm fighting at a Bone Breaker boxing gym now. And this camp, it's me, Truckin', you got Jeremy Holloway, we got Micah the Machine, and then now like, all four of us are all fighting on the same card. We've been making trips to Modern Warrior. I actually just texting Keith today, trying to see if we can come down again this week, get some rounds, and we've been cross-training with them over there. So it's like, we're really surrounding ourselves right now. Well, as far as myself, I'm surrounding myself around a lot of high-quality training partners, but not only that, people who bring a great sense of energy and just light and just really good vibes. Because where I was coming from the last couple fights, the place I was training was just dark. It was just real, too much testosterone in the room, egos everywhere. I mean, just there wasn't any mutual love or respect. It was just more of it felt like a chore. Right now this feels like I'm blossoming, by training with these guys and being with this new coach. I'm blossoming into something that I didn't know that I was, and I feel so much better mentally, physically, emotionally. This is like such a more, more sound version of myself than ever.
Well, it sounds like a great, switch up for sure. And I mean, just even speaking to the localized element of the training partners also being on this card, that must be a great thing, because as much as bare knuckle is an individual sport, there's a great team camaraderie dynamic in the lead up, and just the fact that you're all kind of rolling in with your individual assignments to the same event. Is that kind of how you're feeling with all that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got to think about it. Like the guys I'm training, Chuck and Jeremy, are both 5'11". My opponent's 5'11". So it's like it all works out, and all of our styles are all different, but it's like when we get a chance to get in and move around with each other, it's like all these different unique styles, and it gives us time to adapt and make adjustments, and that's what makes us, better fighters, and we have control, and we know when to bang. It's all about, I always say you're only as good as the people you train with, and surround yourself with killers, but people who are also level-headed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree, and just love to see that for sure. And the description of blossoming as opposed to it feeling like a toxic environment, I would feel like that's very conducive to just the growth in general. But
it's so draining.
Yeah, but I feel like it probably serves where you're looking to go with your career. Like this would be the time to make that switch if you're feeling like that with where you were at before.
Yep, and I think it was the time, and I think no time like the present, and it was the best move I've made.
And you said something earlier that I thought was kind of interesting, just in the sense of talking about how you bring almost like a new package to the table each time you get out there and compete. Is that just tapping into different skills to keep the opponents guessing? Are you almost analyzing yourself on a tape study level and seeing what you need to do to kind of keep them guessing, or is that more of a methodology you don't want to divulge as much?
So, like a lot of my fights, I always say, even a lot of my interviews, I even say, I watch my fights and I look for ways to beat myself. And I try to either correct the problem, I try to even use a problem as a solution. But I try to look for little things, like what I would do, and then put myself in those situations, and then get myself in a situational awareness where I'm sparring with somebody and then they do something that I seen in a fight, and I react to something that I didn't do that actually worked. And then, you know what I mean? Just ways to always come different, even striking, different punches, different angle punches, straight punches, not just looping punches, but just everything's different, man. I change it up all the time. Even my footwork for this next fight's going to look any difference in the last 5 fights. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting and definitely, noticeable for sure, just bringing different looks and techniques to each performance, so that definitely adds an exciting component for this next one coming up for sure. But, I do appreciate you making the time to come on and talk yet again, man. Always appreciate the insights, but I do want to be mindful of the rest of your time and schedule too, Tony. So is there any final...
Yeah, man, I appreciate you having me, my man, and I hope everything's good with you, bro.
Yeah, can't complain, man. I'm doing pretty all right. I guess I was just wondering if maybe there was any kind of final parting thought you wanted to add as we're sort of wrapping up, though.
Yeah, I just want to say, really just appreciate everybody that I've been surrounded by with lately, and just the energy and the mindset. This is the clearest I've ever been, and I'm just so happy to be blessed the way I am right now. And I just, I'm just really, really happy. I just really can't wait to go and put some hands on this dude. I'm putting hands with plans on this man. That's what I'm about to do. So, but yeah, man, that's it. But if you gotta hit him hard, baby. That's it for me.
I was going to say, dropping a couple bars, hanging around with Nems a little bit lately, it sounds like.
That's my guy, man. That's my dude. Yes, sir. Don't ever disrespect me having me on a podcast with no recording each other and stuff. But yeah, man, it was a pleasure, my brother. You have a great day, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. You as well, and very excited for this Kevin Croom fight at BKFC 52. Should be a great co-main event fight on October 20th, but until then, you have a good rest of your day, Tony. Thank you.
You too, my brother. Peace.
This episode of Bouts Talking Bouts is brought to you by Bare Knuckle Betting Shark. Winning parlays, if you're looking for them in BKFC, you got to be checking out BK Bet Shark. Here's the thing, $50 buys, you get a personalized bet slip. It's based on your own budget. You can be flexible. It is what works for you. And this guy's got the receipts. You can check out all the winning tickets. You can peep them, and you can do so at Bare Knuckle Betting Shark. Check him out on Instagram and get with it. Got them personalized betting slips going on, $50 buys.